This driver will make you want to totally forget about
that
new
bet
drivers.
because I
This is just creeping up and up, by the way.
yeah.
That's all I need to...
And look at this option.
Oh.
It's safe to say Rob was impressed by the performance of this driver, but there's something specific that got him those quick wins.
Look at his face.
Obviously easier to launch.
You're saying this with gritted teeth there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Then low loft is just a killer. I'm going to tell you some stats here, and this might change your opinion. That's exciting.
Which any other golfer could have.
You don't want to be giving it more. It could go anywhere.
Now, part of that is because the face is flatter.
So you try this. Oh, it's better. Yeah, it felt a lot longer. I kept wanting to get. I thought, no, I can't.
Right, me and Rob have just finished playing. This is Rob's current driver. Max dark speed set to 10.5 degrees. Now, I happen to have this in the car. This is an XL2 launcher from Cleveland, but I've set it to 12 degrees. Now, I actually think this being a lot more loft, 1.5 degrees more loft than what he's currently got, is going to be way better. But let's see, right? I don't really know how this is going to go. But Rob, I want you just to hit a few of yours to start with, just to get us some baseline figures. So let's hit 2 away with yours, baseline figures, and we're just doing a test here of, okay, there is some differences in the length of this shaft. I'll show you that very shortly. This is a lot longer, but more the fact of this head is a little bit spinnier, and it's got a lot more loft, right? Now, I think for a mid to high handicapper with a, I mean, this is as nice as possible way. As you get older, we swing it a little slower.
Oh no, it's pedestrian.
This is going to be mad, and what I see here is a driver that's potentially going to be more forgiving, going to give you more height. It's then going to actually carry further, which then, if you can get it going a little further, we're hitting less club in. That's exciting. Right, let's go for it. So this is shot 1 with his own driver, the Cobra dark speed. Now this is the Cleveland dark speed then. Okay, good. There's shot 1. And how would you say you usually hit your driver? Is it quite low?
It's normally higher than that.
Yeah, but that is sort of roughly-ish.
Yeah, it's not high.
No, okay. Let's hit another one. More like that high?
Yeah.
Okay. This excites me. Right, I'm going to give you this now. I want you to put them both down side by side and just pick out if there is any differences to your eye. Do you look at that and go, oh yeah, that looks a little bit different. I like the look of it. You might look at it and go, oh my God, it's really ugly. What do you think? What's your first impressions with that?
The Cleveland is a lot more elongated, like a pear drop, eye drop, whatever.
Yeah, it's a bit more like triangulated.
You're triangulated, yeah.
What about the gloss? Do you like the gloss look?
I don't mind the gloss look, but I prefer the gloss look, you know, when you've got the carbon weave.
Yeah.
That's but totally glossy.
Would you feel like you're going to give a bit of glare, potentially?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't mind it, because English weather, we've got more days with no glare.
Especially in Sheffield.
Yeah, in Sheffield, yeah. More days with no glare. But it won't put me off.
Okay. And it does look a lot bigger, doesn't it? It does
Yeah.
look a lot bigger, that side by side. The Cobra had sort of an idea of being like sort of triangulated at the back, but the Cleveland quite a lot.
Yeah.
Now, if I just take them off you there, I'll look at the difference in the length of these shafts. Quite a bit, probably an inch in that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people do go short, and I've said this before, because a shorter shaft and driver, it does give us a little bit more control, we feel. But then we do sacrifice clubhead speed. So we're going to be comparing all of these numbers, the total distance, the ball speed, and the clubhead speed between these two. Right, here we go. I'm excited because I think there's some good options with slower swing speeds, really lofting that driver up as much as you can. Now, the worrying thing for you is, Rob, like, you've lofted your driver up as much as you can possibly already, haven't you? It's turned into a very expensive afternoon, maybe. Let's see. The reason why we've not put Rob's shaft in that is because I want to experiment the fact of the length of the club being an impact on the club head speed, as well as the slight change in loft. Right, okay, let's do it. Oh, look at his face. Look at his face. Now just talk to me about that shot.
It was obviously easier to launch. The only thing I slightly did, I left the club face slightly open, which is why it peeled off, but it launched a lot higher.
Now, and did you enjoy that height? Would it say it's too high?
No, that's the height that I would.
You're saying
like.
this with gritted teeth there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right, okay, let's go for a shot 2. Then we'll have a look at these stats just to start with, straight off the gun. But straight away, this excites me. I really think this is a great option. So if you're a higher handicap and you've got a 9-degree driver, I'm like, oh my God, not even necessarily a 9, not even say a high handicap, but someone who's got a slightly slower swing speed, then low loft is just a killer. It's a killer. Oh, stunning hit. Sounds quite loud, that driver, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Sounds very loud, in fact.
It's a bit like the old pingies. Ping driver, you know, the kind of dink.
Right, I want to ask you a question. Let's think about this. What's it like off the face? Feeling better? Worse?
Yeah, it feels good. I think the noise would slightly put me off.
Okay.
I know you probably get used to it, but you see, that's very dull, and it took me a while to get used to that.
Yeah.
Like when I middle that one,
Yeah.
it's like a thud.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to think that's good,
Okay.
rather than, you know, the Mizunos, the Woods are totally different, and I do like those sounds.
Yeah.
It feels like I've hit them well.
Okay.
It's all right, but I think with clubs that loud, I think I said before, you've got to be hitting them well.
Yeah, I know ping in previous years, that's one of the reasons why I didn't like my ping in the G430 10K Max, is because it was like really loud.
Yeah.
G440 this year, that's a lot duller, and they've sort of taken it.
yeah.
But even though that sounds loud to you, it just sounds more higher pitch. Now, I'm going to tell you some stats here, and this might change your opinion on, we've only hit 2 shots of each, we're going to hit some more just to clarify this. But so you launch your driver right now, your Cobra, at 9.4 degrees. It's quite low, very low in fact, right? I would look to launch it, the slightly faster swing speed, somewhere around 12. You're launching the Cleveland at 13.5 nearly. That's exciting, because that's going to stay in the air a little more. Now, if I told you the ball speed was very, very similar between them both, actually your Cobra just edged it, all right? Then we go into the total distance. This went 15 yards further.
Because it stayed in the air longer.
But it's not too high to the point where you're not going to get any run.
Yeah,
you're not going to get any run. What I just see is there, like, you think when you're stood on a tee and you've got to carry it to that front of the fairway. Well, that's going to do it.
Yeah.
So then it's not going to have to go through the rough.
I mean, the thing is, sometimes when, if I hit that
Yeah.
high, I've like teed up and try and hit it high.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel it stalls.
Okay.
It starts out great, and then I think it doesn't seem to be going
Going as much as it should.
as much as it should.
Yeah, and potentially 12 is maybe too much. Maybe 11 is a good middle ground. But I think what we could see here straight away is more loft. It's giving us a little more. Okay. Right. I want you to hit 2 more with this for us here.
I mean, obviously, it's the first time I've used it, so I would. The more I use it, the better I'm going to hit it on.
And you're swinging it at the same club head speed, which I thought, that slightly disappointed me, that, because I thought you might swing this quicker with it being a bit longer, but maybe it's playing into the fact that it's your first time you've ever hit it.
Yeah.
Just experiment with this. If you knew that club, you would maybe put a little more into it.
It's all about confidence. If you think I'm always going to put this on the fairway, you think I'll just give it a bit more. If you're thinking I don't know where it's going to go, you're not going to give it any more, are you?
Totally get that. Totally get that. So
if you're confident, I'm going to hit, instead you go, well, just try and give this a bit more, so it might only be slightly off.
Yeah.
If you're spraying it left and right, you don't want to be giving it more. It could go anywhere.
So would it be fair to say that to swing that at the same club at speed you've got right now opens the door that when you do get confident with something that's a little longer, you could potentially swing it a little quicker?
Yeah.
That's all I needed to hear. Right, okay. Let's give this a bit of a bash right now. Let's have 2 more with this, 2 more with yours, then we'll look at this data as a whole. Look at that drive.
I control that bet because I
This is just creeping up and up, by the way.
should have turned the club face in so that I don't get the.
But what excites me is look how little curve that had.
Yeah.
Now, we're not talking about technique here. We could improve technique, obviously. Everyone can improve their technique. But we're looking at this going, having more loft makes it easier to hit it straighter. Think sandwich, right? You don't really curve that and slice that.
No.
Driver, everyone slices a driver. Now part of that is because the face is flatter. Well, if we're adding loft, well, our face is not as
Flat, yeah.
This is really interesting. Right, okay, I'm excited for you here, Rob. I'm going to want you to hit one more with this. Go on, just really relax on it. Let's see what we can get out of this badger.
Should be a lawyer, shouldn't I? Yes, my lord, my case rests. So you try this. Oh, it's better.
I just put words in people's mouth, basically. By the way, Rob's amazing at impressions, so, and you're going to come out with a different accent in a second, after we're into the Cleveland. Right, here we go. Last one with the Cleveland.
A bit low, that's a bit heely, but
Little, we're going to leave it in there because that's realistically what we're going to hit, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have some of those, right? Okay, so that has destroyed your data on that one, but oh well. Right, here we go. This is Cobra, your driver, shot number 3. Now look how much more curve that has.
Yeah.
A lot more. Because you're probably quite happy with the strike, right?
yeah, the strike was pretty. See what I mean about that dull? That's what I know. It's come out of the middle.
Yeah. It's a lot difference in sound there, isn't it?
Yeah, massive difference.
A lot difference in sound. That's really interesting. Like I think what also is interesting, like when you're stood out here, it sounds a lot different to when you're hitting it as well. Right, before you hit that, let's just make sure this isn't the right club. Right, ready, final shot.
That's my Healy one. That comes out now and again.
Yeah, we'll leave that in there. So go through the data here. I want to read out some of the numbers that we've got here. Now these are range balls, and this is measuring where the ball has finished, not necessarily what it finished out there, but what the data has picked up. Your shortest being 95, your longest being 141, right? But I want you to show you these with the Cleveland. Look how close they are. Your worst one, 107, but 134, 136, 139, close together.
Close together.
Now, what also excites me about this is apex is the number of like how high it is, top of its flight. Well, there's 6 feet difference there. 6 feet more in the air means that your speed like a lot longer. That's why we're getting a lot more distance. If we have a look at this as well, you've hardly hit any shots with this with the same pretty much club head speed. So you get more confidence in something that's a bit longer, a bit more loft. I don't necessarily think longer actually. I'm going to go back on that. I think what I like here is something that's got more loft. You're going to see less curve, you're going to see a higher launch, and it's going to go straighter. I think longer is dangerous because longer means harder to control. I'd actually like to see something like your length of shaft really, because not seeing too much difference in speed here, but with some more loft on. I think that is where we hit a little bit of a sweet spot. So I think the moral of this story for a lot of people here is, and just show you the launch, we're launching this at 11.7, yours at 11, and we've kept in some of the low ones in there. We've had a 6.6 in there in the Cleveland. That's really low. So that's really killed our averages. Most of these averages have been upwards of 13, right? And we've had a 13.9, a 12.8, a 13.6. So the moral of the story is slower swing speeds are going to seriously benefit from more loft. I'm going to say longer shaft could potentially be an option. That's why Cleveland have gone for a longer shaft, because it gives you the option of adding and getting more speed for the same effort. But I do think that's a slightly dangerous tactic to play.
It did feel
harder.
Yeah, it felt a lot longer.
Yeah.
I know it's only an inch, but when I was stood there, I kept wanting to get. I thought, no, I can't.
Well, you think why 7 would feel a lot easier than 5 would, right? It's about half an inch shorter.
Yeah.
So going half an inch longer, this is still legal. It's not illegal, but yeah, that's why I'm a bit nervous about saying longer shaft.
Because obviously with mine, I get used to standing a certain distance away from the ball.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that with that.
Yeah.
I had to, and then I felt, I feel slightly far away from the ball.
Now that excites me because you've only hit 4 shots, but yet you're hitting it longer and launching it better.
Yeah.
So I think this is a moral of the story is more loft is a great option.